ICO New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40. Out of the 1,000 people that we've helped over the last 10 years, I'd say 75% of those people had never been to a gym before. They'd never worked out with resistance training and weights, and they were extremely apprehensive. I want to allay your fears so that you can get into the gym, you can start working out, and just be prepared about what to expect as you go through the strength training process. I'm going to explain to you 7 important things to look out for so that you're just aware of what is going to happen and when it's going to happen so that you can make the appropriate adjustments and get working out without worrying. All right, D is for DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, okay? It's the pain that you get once you go into the gym and you start working out for the very first time. And this is one of the biggest things that puts people off going back to the gym, certainly after the age of about 50. So if you think about it this way, you've never worked out for 10 years and all of a sudden you found a plan that you're going to do, you've gone into the gym, you started, and you were so sore the next day that you can't even sit down, all right? And you then takes you 3 to 4 days to recover. It's really, really painful. You're not sure what to do. You start Googling about, what to do and how to get rid of the DOMs. The ultimate fact is once you've got them, you've got them. You just have to let that go. And all DOMs are, it just means that you've destroyed the muscle fibers, which is a part of strength training. You break down the muscle fibers so they can regrow stronger, but you've done it at such a high intensity compared to what you're used to that it's caused you a lot of pain and suffering for the next couple of days, okay? But if you do experience a lot of DOMs, don't worry. Just take a couple of days, get some water, move around, go back in and do the same workout, but very, very light, and you're going to find those muscles will be less sore over time. But the top tip I want to give you if you're new to strength training and what to expect anyway, if you experience a bout of DOMs after going into the gym for the first time, best thing to do really is to just keep moving, walk around, go in and do the same workout, but very, very light the next day or two. And what you find is when you push some blood through, some nutrients through those muscles again, you're going to start to feel less sore. But the thing of it is, to stop DOMs happening in the first place, you simply need to go, the first day you go into the gym, is a very simple workout. And let's just say your trainer gives you 3 sets of 15 reps to do across the whole board. Just do 1, okay? If you find a plan, just do 1 set of everything. The next day, see how you feel. If you feel good, the next time you train, maybe 2 days later, you can do 2 sets of everything. And if you feel good after that, by Friday, you can do 3 sets of everything. But give yourself a chance to warm up into this new way of training. Because a lot of people I know over the age of 40, 50, and 60 who are new to resistance training, the only thing that they do is walking or yoga or Pilates and things like that. They're not really doing strength training. So take heed. You might get sore, but that is a good way to stop that soreness, is not to go so hard on the first couple of days. So then point number 2, what we've got is something called gym intimidation. You're intimidated by the gym. And a lot of our people that come to us are growing younger, who have never been to a gym before. They like the feel of the place that we train in because it is for them. It's for 40s only. Everyone's the same age group. But when you walk into a gym for the very first time, they've got all these foreign equipments like racks and bars and machines. You're not sure what to do. You can be very intimidated by this. And it puts a lot of people off. In fact, I know people in our area that's walked into a Jets gym or Anytime Fitness and they've literally gone in, looked around, walked straight back out again because they're so intimidated by the environment because it's so new and so fresh. So what I urge you to do is don't worry about it. Go into the gym, just basically find some easy equipment that you can do. Ask some people in there if you need to, how to use this machine and whatever else. Maybe hire yourself a personal trainer to go through everything once, so do a really good gym orientation, but don't let the intimidation put you off. And the more times you visit that same place at the same time, you're going to start to meet people just like you or people that are more familiar now, and the environment will become a lot nicer for you. So if you do experience a bit of gym intimidation, don't let that put you off your goals of being stronger and fitter and whatnot. If you do want a full body workout that I do for our clients, it's a very basic one. It may suit most of you. Just comment down below and say plan, and I will send you a plan that you can follow. It's going to cover off every single muscle of the body with videos of how to do things so you don't feel so intimidated and scared. And hopefully that will get you to start and to keep going as you move forward. Sometimes a lot of our members, or before they come to us anyway, experience a little bit of dread. So they may have got sore, they feel intimidated, and now they dread actually going into the gym, okay? And it is a very real feeling. Certainly if you're a little bit older, you may feel out of place. Certainly around people who are younger than you, fitter than you, more able than you, okay, you can have a little bit of dread going on. But what I encourage you to do is understand the reason that you're going in the first place. And if you're over 40, 50, and 60, the reasons that you're probably going there is to be more functional, is to play with your grandkids, is to go on those hikes, prepare for retirement, be active as you age. And they're the reasons you're going in. So even if you feel a little bit of dread, by understanding and going to the gym and understanding the machines and the equipment and what you're doing, you'll feel a little bit less dread going forward. Another thing that may help you as well is listening to some music, going with a friend. All these things can help you experience less dread about going and doing a fitness workout. One or two other things you might find as well is that you might find some niggles and aches and twists and stuff, and that's going to put you off as well. But again, it's the same as anything. You literally modify some of your workouts. If you're not sure what to do, then obviously ask somebody. I'm going to try and put lots of videos up here to help you with modifications. But ultimately, just go in and do it, and do the best you can, and be consistent as you can. Number 4 is a big one to look out for when you're starting, okay? It is not working. I hear this all the time. They come to the gym, it is not working. And what I often see is that people don't realize the effects of strength training for maybe a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It takes a little bit of time for your body to get used to it. A really good thing for you to overcome this is to keep a diary of your workouts. So let's just say Monday, day 1, you start, you lifted 10 kilos on your chest press, okay? Then as you get better over time, you can get stronger. You can follow something called progressive overload, which is every single week, just doing a little bit extra as long as you're not suffering DOMS, okay? And when you track your workouts over time, you will start to see the lifts in the gym and go up, pushing heavier weights, doing more reps, whatever that is for you. You may then also realize it when you're in the garden doing some stuff and you lift a barrel or a plant pot that's heavy or used to be heavy and it feels a lot lighter. But you've got to track these things and look out for it, because it's very easy to go to the gym 3 times a week, not really exert yourself that much, not follow progressive overload, and then come to the realization this doesn't feel like it's working. And a lot of times we have people come to us where they've literally said that this isn't working, I want to quit. And the conversation will be, well, have you noticed in everyday life that it's actually felt stronger? Oh yeah, I felt stronger when I was in the garden doing this thing. I said, right, that is it. It is working, you just don't feel like it is. Because the nature of resistance training and strength training, that you should always be pushing yourself and you should always feel hard. Therefore, it never really gets easier. But one good test for you to do as well, if you really wanted to, that let's just say you've been training for 6 or 8 weeks, okay? And you've got a bit stronger, still a little bit hard. I want you to go back to day 1 and do exactly the same workout you did in day 1 and see how much easier it feels. Once you go through that, you will realize that it is actually working and you are getting stronger. It's just going to take a little bit of time to realize that. All right then. So number 5, P equals plateau. You will not be able to get stronger forever. You are always going to plateau at some point. And this is something you need to be aware of at the beginning, because you may experience something called newbie gains, which means that when you come into the gym first, you start exercising, you get strong really quick, fit really quick. Hopefully you realize it's working. And then obviously you plateau and you maybe can't lift as much as you did, or you can't squat or do any more reps, and you plateau. And it is frustrating. You hate it. You don't want to do it. And a lot of times people really start to give up at this point because they think they're not achieving anything, they're not progressing. Therefore, as humans, if we're not progressing, sometimes you just want to give up because you feel it isn't working. But I want to say to you this. When you're strength training, even if you hit a plateau, you are maintaining the muscle mass that you've now built. And that is the absolute key. You need to maintain your muscle mass over the rest of your life. That is the most important key thing here, right? So even if you experience a plateau, you can literally just keep working out for a little bit longer. You can look for maybe a different training modality. So if you're doing straight sets, and all straight sets means you do 10 reps, let's say, then you stop and rest, and you do 10 sets. You can add things in like a superset or a pre-exhaust set. Or in lots of ways to change up your workouts to keep progressing. And obviously, you know, I can talk about that on the channel as we go through it. But you could simply Google how to break a plateau in your weight training, or what is a superset, or what is a pre-exhaust set, wherever that is. Lots of information out there, and you're going to be able to bust through that plateau and feel like you're continuing. But this is something that happens to all of us. Even the strongest men in the world plateau at some point, okay? They can't keep getting stronger forever. So there's no reason to think that we should either, okay? Okay, M is for modification. So a lot of the times you go into the gym and we start working out, then we come across and maybe get a niggle, a shoulder pain, a knee injury, back injury. And so at this point then you think, oh, I've got an injury, I can't go to the gym now. But the thing of it is, injuries are inevitable. They're always going to happen in some way, shape or form, whether it be through the gym itself or through something that you've done outside of the gym. You may need a modification. And I'll give you a really good example. Let's just say you can't do a full squat, okay? So like a goblet squat or chair squat, whatever that is. If you can't do that squat because you've got a sore knee, let's say, you may be able to do a wall sit or something like that. And the thing of it is, you're still going to work the muscles. It's just may not going to be the same movement pattern as you were before. And if you've got a shoulder pain, I'm struggling with a shoulder pain at the minute, and I can't do bench press. So I'm modifying it with cables and bands and whatnot. But it's enough to keep me going, keep me progressing. And it's when I modify exercises, for a lot of our clients have injuries of all sorts of shape and form. We do smart modifications to make sure they can keep on progressing regardless of the injury they have. So if you're not sure about what modifications are, definitely recommend speaking to a physio or physical therapist or a personal trainer. They're going to help you with those modifications. However, if you have a question around modifications, a good opportunity to write down in the comments that, I've got a shoulder injury, how can I modify that to do a chest press, let's say. So write it down in the comments. I will answer you back with a modification if I know what that modification is. Number 7 is setbacks. When you enter into strength training, you got to understand that you're strength training for the rest of your life. It's not something you're going to do for a little period of time. We want to be strong forever, not just strong for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks, okay? And you will 100% hit a setback. What is a setback? It could be a funeral. It could be a job loss. It could be busy in work. It could be an injury. Well, what is millions and millions of setbacks, okay? And I've got a client at the moment who is head of oncology for one of the hospitals in New Zealand. And sometimes she works 12, 14, 15-hour days. And we suffer massive setbacks because she works such long hours. So what we started to do is kind of bring in some strategies to exercise on the weekend instead. Let's maintain what you have. It's not about always progressing. And the thing of it is, if you have a setback, you've got to think to yourself, the purpose now of me strength training is to maintain the muscle that I've now built. Maintain the muscle you've now built. And what you do, let's think of it this way. Even if you worked out once per week for one entire year, that's 52 strength training opportunities for you to maintain your muscle mass. If you didn't work out for an entire year, you'd be so much more weaker. The fact is, you can maintain your muscle strength with a lot less volume than it took to actually get there. So if you do hit a setback, look at your week and go, can I dedicate 45 minutes on a Sunday or a Saturday just to keep on moving while the busy period ends, just to maintain what I've got. So you must be prepared for setbacks. To think it's not going to happen on a journey, a fitness journey, is crazy, okay? A lot of us will always try and start a strength training program when they're not busy. And the thing of it is, if you do it when you're not busy, you're assuming that you will never be busy again. So the best time to actually start a strength training program or any fitness program is in the busy times. Because if you can deal with that in the busy times, the easy times become easier. How's that for a reverse psychology? So that was my video for today. What to expect, okay, when you start a strength training program over the age of 50. These are really, really common things I come across all the time. I hope that you've got some value from this and it's not going to put you off going into the gym and doing it. So there's 2 things. Number 1, if you need a full strength program, comment down below. And if you need some advice or a modification of exercises, leave that down below as well. I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. That is it from me, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next video.